May 27th, Monday morning, and this is the No Booze News in the Double O podcast. The Double O podcast this week is a single O podcast. And yes, I know Double O is a wordplay referencing to the 0.0 world and also the ability to be an agent in this specific spectrum and this specific area. Unfortunately, Isabel and me didn't find any single moment where we can record this podcast together. So I'm doing this right exact after my return from London, the night between Sunday and Monday, to bring you the latest news from the alcohol-free market. We will talk about things that have been going on in the last 2 weeks in this area. I will do a short and brief wrap up on the London Wine Fair, where has been a big focus on alcohol-free stuff. I met some great people working in the industry and especially focus on non-alcoholic products. And in the end, my drink of the week is the drink of the fair. So have fun with this episode, even though my wonderful co-host Isabella won't be with us this time. Welcome, all you curious people, no boozers and wine lovers, to the 10th episode of Double O, your weekly go-to show on the non-alcoholic drinks in the podcast universe. The No Booze News bring you everything exciting in the alcohol-free world every 2 weeks. And this week we will talk about the Balearic Islands that have banned alcohol after 10 p.m. And this is adding up on the things they have already introduced over the last couple of years. It's a bit like, it's the total opposite on the things that have been going on in the last, I would say, 25 years, especially on the Balearic Island. And it accounts for the trend on sober traveling or dry tripping, as we called it, I guess 4 weeks ago. But I think that the trend of dry tripping is not responsible for this. But before we start with this news, I would like to talk briefly about the section that Isabel really likes, the sober celebrity section. To me also, this is a very important section just to show that there are so many people we might think of being addicted to alcohol or at least drinking alcohol, or where we would never expect that they have never had any alcohol. Think about Anne Hathaway, we've talked about in the recent episodes. And today we will talk about Tom Hardy. And Tom Hardy has a really interesting and also quite frightening story. He was born in 1977, and in the first, 16 to 18 years, he went crazy on alcohol and drugs. And responsible for that is a policeman who came to his school when he was 11 years old and he talked about the abuses on alcohol and glue and all the other and many other drugs, and he was like, "Oh, this sounds exciting. I'll try that out." So he came to glue, he came to beer, he came to many other drugs, and at the age of 26, he discovered that he has a big problem with that and decided to become sober. And since 2003, he has been sober. And 3 years later, in 2006, he started talking about it, making it public. And people were confused, people were excited, people were frustrated. And he was even not allowed to talk to children anymore because people said that he was like frightening them and maybe also preparing them for using alcohol and other drugs, which is stupid, by the way. But I mean, he's the walking example. He came to drugs in that way. So yes, it's a very difficult topic. And nevertheless, to me personally, it's a very important thing to talk about this stuff, especially in school, to make people more aware, to give more awareness to this topic. And of course, alcohol is a socially accepted drug. But as I said it earlier, if everything we knew about alcohol would be considered in the question, should we legalize it today or not, people probably won't do that. And all the discussions we have on things like marijuana, we would also put in place when we talk about alcohol. To me, it's personally very exciting to see a person like him, who also is known for playing quite aggressive people in his roles. He has nothing to do with alcohol anymore. There was an exciting quote he once put on an interview with, I guess, the BBC. If I had 4 pints of lager and half a bottle of vodka, I could turn this room into an absolute freaking nightmare in about 3 minutes. And he added, I could destroy everything in my life I've worked so far. And this was the moment where he decided it might be a better idea to become sober and get rid of all the stuff, drugs and alcohol. Yeah, so one more story to add on. Sober celebrities, and this is not to clickbait on celebrities or use it for marketing issues. It's just to show you there is famous people who talk publicly about their abuse with alcohol and about their decisions that they're very proud of, usually, of becoming sober. And I would love to add some people in the future who are not like super sober because they had apparently big issues with it, but more on this mindful drinking side. And this was also my main output of London Wine Fair and some panels they had over there with alcohol-free products, that mindful drinking could be a better option than saying I'm sober from day one, because many people struggle, especially when they give themselves pressure on like just letting go of everything immediately and struggle with it and maybe just fall back on their habits. Talking about habits, we talked about sober traveling, and it has been a trend, and it's a trend that is going on, especially in the US. They call it dry tripping. We talked about that in the podcast. And the Balearic Islands have been the holiday destination of the last 25 years if you just wanted to have fun and drink a lot of alcohol. Mallorca and Ibiza, the party islands, the Ballermann, the world famous Ballermann in Mallorca, they have been super famous for like places where people meet just to get drunk, consume a bunch load of alcohol, especially beer and hard stuff like hard liquors. And in the last years, that has changed because Mallorca wanted to change their reputation from being the island where people just get drunk to a very beautiful, historical destination for holidays. And they started to introduce rules where it was less and less allowed to consume alcohol publicly. And today, there is a law that has been introduced, I guess 3 or 4 weeks ago. When was it? Let me check. 13th of May, so 2 weeks ago, they introduced a law that says between 9:30 p.m. and 8 a.m. you're not allowed to drink alcohol publicly, and most of the shops are not allowed to sell alcohol anymore. They just want to get rid of the drunken tourists on the beaches and the alcohol consumption that contributes to a quite bad reputation, a bad image, especially in the streets of the big cities such as Palma de Mallorca. And of course, they also want to try to get down on vandalism and public nudity, which was a really big issue in Mallorca. What will change? I don't know. I mean, there's 14 million visitors in 2023 that have come to Mallorca, and there is no official numbers, but I would say 20 to 30% at least account for those unsober travelers. Let's see what will happen with the numbers. I don't know that. I don't think that they will lose a bunch load of visitors just because of this rule. The people that come for this reason, they will find a solution to do that anyway. To me personally, it's a good idea just to change the public image, the official image of Mallorca to a better one. I have been to Mallorca 2 times, but for different reasons, for diving, for visiting the countryside, for going to wineries. And actually, it's a very beautiful country. It's lovely people over there. And if you're into wine, you can discover very, very great products of high quality. Talking about drink less but better, mindful drinking. This could be an option. And also, they have discovered, not only the Balearic Islands, but especially Spain, they have discovered that there is a demand for alcohol-free cocktails. So this can also contribute to this summer feeling with, I don't know, coconut water and stuff, without getting the boozy feeling some people might expect. So would be interesting to see what will happen to the number of tourists that will come in 2024 with the introduction of this rule. Fortunately, they will be able to change their reputation and have, let's say, a higher quality of audience, of visitors in the future. Polarizing news from the US last week. The Feds prepare to call wine unsafe. This is based on two different things. One is that the World Health Organization published in 2023 a study, an article that stated there is no safe amount of alcohol. So if you really want to be clean and won't have any problems with alcohol, please stop drinking at all. And Feds should consider to communicate this to the people. And of course, wine, especially wine, is a part of culture, and it could become a huge issue, especially for a very, very big industry, if this would be communicated publicly. Nevertheless, the study of the WHO showed that there is no safe amount of alcohol. And some people still try to put arguments on the table that try to show the WHO that there is a safe amount of alcohol. And they use a study from California, which is called the J curve. And the J curve basically said that there is a safer amount of drinking. So people live longer and healthier when they drink a very small amount of alcohol compared to people who don't drink alcohol at all. Today, we know that there have been many mistakes during this study, and this study is not stable anymore. We cannot use it anymore for argumentation, but people still do it. So there have been biases, there have been things that haven't been considered. So the J-curve study, don't use it anymore. Nevertheless, there is this thing that, especially in the US, they are thinking about labeling wine as unsafe. And of course, this will have a big influence on the industry. Imagine you would like to drink a bottle of wine, and then there's this big sticker saying wine is unsafe. Would you consider, ask yourself, would you consider to stop drinking or to not buying this wine? They conducted a short survey on that and found out that over 60% of the people said, yes, I won't drink the wine afterwards. If it's really a thing, 60% of the people between the age of 21 and 39 said they would cut back on alcohol. So this shows that there will definitely be an influence on the industry, maybe of course also on culture. And this will definitely be a big discussion. And due to the fact that especially wine is closely related to politics, to agriculture, to culture in general, this will be a huge discussion point in the future. And of course, many people will jump in and try to keep it. I don't know if this is a good thing, because usually when you tell people they should stop doing things, it gets worse. Maybe it would be better to just talk publicly about the problems in alcohol consumption, try to bring people to moderate drinking, to mindful drinking, which is a better wording, by the way, and maybe use it less for general situation, but more for social occasions, for special occasions, where there is a worth and also a respect to the consumption, and where it's more about enjoying the moment together. And maybe this is also possible without alcohol. The awareness would be more a topic for me personally than saying you're not allowed anymore, or it's stupid to drink this stuff because it's unsafe to drink it. In that moment, it would be lovely to have Isabel on the pod, just to hear her personal opinion on that, because I guess she has some other facts as well contributing from marketing and especially from psychology. We'll postpone it to the next episode and ask her again. Talking about intoxication. There were two interesting facts this week published. One is researchers found a protein gel, so a substance that is a byproduct of cheese making, that might be able to accelerate recovery from intoxication. So basically, you intoxicate yourself, you add this gel, and you feel healthier and better the next morning. And in addition, the alcohol, the toxic substance, is consumed by those, bacteria, lees? I have no clue. It was tested on mice, poor mice. I'm not a fan of this. The results show that 30 minutes after a single serving of alcohol, the gel reduced the alcohol level in the mice by 40%. And after 5 hours, it had dropped by almost 60%. This is a huge thing. And if this would be available publicly, That will be a huge market. But we talked about that in the last episode where I asked Isabel the question, is it really a good idea to prepare for a night out with alcohol the same way you do it for a marathon? You have your electrolytes, you have your protein gel, you have your hangover pills, whatever. To me, for me personally, it's a stupid idea. I mean, we can enjoy evenings with friends and stuff and enjoying other things without the use of alcohol. And the older you get, the bigger the problem will be in the next morning, the day after. But we see more and more products coming into the market claiming that there is a way to prevent hangover, including the enjoyment of alcohol. And there was another one, it's called Hangover Cure. It's a product that has been published and that has been advertised, especially on TikTok. So to the younger generation, think about that what you want. And the TikTok ad has been pulled by the ASA. So the ASA is the Advertising Standards Authority that is responsible for what products are advertised in which way on the social media platforms. And they said, no, Man Cave Bartender, this is the name of the TikTok account, is not allowed anymore to advertise this product on TikTok. Basically, it's a pill you take in combination with the use of alcohol, and in the end, it tries to deal with your hangover. So basically, it prevents you from being hangover the next day. But of course, the ad was more like, you can drink whatever you want and as much as you want. Just take our pill and everything will be fine. And of course, this is stupid, actually. I mean, if you know you will drink anyway, and there's a way that might prevent you from being hangover and having headaches, it could be an option. And I mean, I was young as well, and we were drinking too much, what I know so far today. And there were many experiences I'm not really proud of, and where I forgot even the good moments because I had too much alcohol. And such a pill might have been a solution in one or two cases. Nevertheless, the ASA said, don't do this, stop it. You're not allowed to advertise it anymore. And the thing is, especially with products like that are forbidden, it creates kind of a viral movement and people try to get it in their hands anyway. People will buy the product even more so right now. Maybe it's gotten more expensive. Didn't do some research on that. Basically, it's a bunch of electrolytes that try to prevent hangovers. And if you want to have products like that, you will definitely get your hands on it. It's your decision. Maybe also mindful drinking might be an option over here. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to overuse the word mindful drinking, but for me personally, it's the best access to alcohol consumption, to the enjoyment of especially wine or at least high quality products. Mindful drinking is my personal thing where I am responsible. I decide when to drink, what to drink and how much, and of course the quality level as well. And the good thing is, if you drink less but better, you can spend the amount of money you usually would spend for crappy stuff for one good bottle you enjoy with friends that also are able to appreciate this product. And I mean, there is very good products available, especially in the alcohol-free section. And there was an article recently in the New York Times. Unfortunately, it's behind a paywall that stated that the best alcohol-free products come from Germany because, I mean, a German invented the dealcoholization through vacuum distillation in 1908, held the pattern on that, and the development has been steady and actually quite fast in the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years. And center of attention has been Germany. Really good products are available at the moment. And I've been to many fairs this year. The latest one was the London Wine Fair. And right now you are able to find high quality products in the alcohol-free section that have been de-alcoholized. I mean, there's other products. We talked about teas, we talked about shrubs, we talked about kombucha products, but we also talk about de-alcoholized products. And there usually is the discussion of, is this still sustainable? Because basically you take fruits, put them through fermentation, then remove the alcohol, then re-add sugar again. which sounds a bit stupid, basically. Imagine you try to explain that to an alien that came to your planet. What the hell? What is that? What we are drinking right now? Yeah, so basically we took grapes, then we fermented them, then we removed the alcohol that was the result of the fermentation, then we added sugar again that has been there before the fermentation has started, and right now you're able to drink it. What do you think would the aliens do? I guess they would leave the planet. Nevertheless, there are very good de-alcoholized products at the moment, and if you don't talk about the energy consumption in that specific moment, and I guess wine is one of the biggest drinking or general agricultural products we have on the planet, and if you want to bring people from alcohol to alcohol-free products, you need those bridge products. I discovered some great teas as well and shrubs, but there is really good, tasty and high quality alcohol-free products, and London Wine Fair dedicated a whole section especially to alcohol-free, to mindful drinking. Club Soda was present, so one of the, I would say, biggest names in the alcohol-free industry. I had a chat with Camille. Camille is, I would say, the most famous influencer in the area. And she also was a part of a panel on alcohol-free products. So there was a big focus at London Wine Fair in 2024 on alcohol-free products. And I discovered many, many things that I will share with you in the next couple of weeks over social media. And also our drink of the week was discovered at London Wine Fair. But before we go there, I would share some numbers with you. In total, there were about 10,000 visitors at London Wine Fair. It's a way smaller fair compared to Pro Wine, to Vinitaly, or to Wine Paris. It's just one big hall, so less visitors, less quantity, but higher quality. I talked to some exhibitors, I talked to some visitors, and they all said the quality of the conversations is higher and also rose in comparison to 2023, even though there were 8% less visitors, and also the feeling that there were less exhibitors. And for the people who are watching, there's a picture of this very beautiful hall that has been built in 1929, which looks like a mixture between a train station and a big venue. Actually, the construction is super interesting because even with 10,000 people in there, it was quite calm. You were able to talk to each other, and they were also able to offer panels right in the middle of the hall, and the others weren't disturbed. On the left side, at the end of the hall, there was this big area for mindful drinking. There were national companies present. The WineGB had a stand. There was quite a big presence for Greece, for Georgia, and also for North America. And there also were some alcohol-free products available, but my favorite product and the drink of the week was a non-alcoholic sparkling tea. The company is called Saicho. Currently, they have 3 different flavors, and not only for me personally, perfect marketing, but also well-structured portfolio. And I mean, I work with clients to structure portfolios for them as well. And basically, they have 3 products. And when you talk about, or when you think about food pairing with drinks, they have one that could be an aperitivo, that could be suitable for for appetizers, for maybe first plates, or for light meals. This is the Darjeeling. Then they have something that is called hochicha. Hopefully it's pronounced correctly, which is smoked tea that also can suit quite heavy, quite powerful meals. And then in the end, they have a jasmine tea, which is floral and like almost dancing on your palate, which would suit perfectly afterwards as a dessert wine or in comparison with desserts. So basically, well-made product, well-made portfolio, and super tasty. And if you are a wine fan and you want to find your product that is comparable to high quality wines, I would definitely recommend to look on products like that, because especially from tea and the way it's produced, you get this balance, you get the structure, you get the complexity in aromas and flavors, you get those layers. And this, my friends, would be a product you can chat about, you can talk about for 30 minutes with all your wine geek friends. Because you have aromas, you have flavors, you can talk about acidity, you can talk about tannins, because there is tannins in it. And this special taste gives you so many opportunities if you want to get nerdy on an alcohol-free product. Currently available in the UK, and they're trying to find, this was also the goal at London Wine Fair, importers in other countries. They will export to other countries, so keep an eye on those products. We will put the link in the show notes. And this was only one of many products I tasted at London Wine Fair, and I will definitely do a wrap up on what I have tasted and experienced, and maybe there is something in for you as well. So this is it, guys, for this week. Thanks for joining. Thanks for staying until the end, even though my wonderful co-host Bella wasn't with me. And right now, this would be the moment where Bella would say, guys, thanks for listening, and start your week right by making conscious decisions. Ciao, ciao.